Are we live? I hope we're live. Going live. Chats. I'm hoping this is working, because I have got no idea. You have to excuse me, because this is the first time I've ever really done a proper live stream like this anyway. So, yeah, hopefully it is working. And why am I nervous all of a sudden? Sound. Right. Okay. Well, yeah, welcome to the Premier League predictions. Yeah, basically that's it. We're just going for the Premier League predictions today, and I'm thinking I'm going to give my prediction of what it's going to be first, and then we're just going to go from there. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully it goes well. So the first off, you'll have to excuse me as well because I am got a preview, just making sure it's going well. I say it's first time. Okay, let's get going. So first off, we have champions. I think it's a pretty obvious one straight away. You have to go Manchester City, just purely because of the squad they've got. Obviously, the title winners they've got already. It just makes sense. Like, thank you very much, Erwin Koeman. Seems if it's the actual one. But yeah, City have already added Jack Grealish to the just the magnificent squad they've got already. So City for champions, pretty obvious. Now we're going to go a different route, and I'm going to go with the relegations. So I've gone with three. I'm going to say Brentford, and I'm going to say who was the other one I was going to say? Norwich. Norwich are a very yo-yo club. Brentford, it's going to be lovely to see them in the Premier League, but the squad isn't there. The squad isn't there at the moment. Hello, Mary Fletcher. And the other one might be a little bit of a controversy here. I am going with Southampton. Southampton, I think, are going to be at the top of the pile, but it's realistically because of the fact they've lost Danny Ings. And when you lose the amount of goals in Danny Ings for your team, that's going to be a real problem to replace. Yes, they brought in Adam Armstrong, but is he going to hit the ground running? Is he going to score the amount of goals that Danny Ings did? No, realistically. So, with also the fact they've lost Yannick Vestergaard, he's now gone to Leicester. So that's going to be a tough one to replace as well. Losing those two key players, I think they're going down this season. And now we're going to go for the Champions League places. Chelsea, firm second. Look at the squad they've got. They haven't really lost any key players, and they've just added Romelu Lukaku. As much as it breaks my heart, they've now lost him. They've now gained Lukaku as well. That much firepower, pretty much dead set. They're going to be at least second place, if not title challengers. And another one I think is going to be a big one. I'm going to put United as third. And I think it's going to be a very tight race between these three here, purely because of the squads they've now got. And obviously, Varane, Sancho have been added to the United squad. And they haven't really lost anyone either. There's no big players that have been lost from the squad. So arguably it's going to be even stronger for them. However, I do think they'll miss out on the top two. And I think making up the rest of the top four is going to be another controversial point. Leicester. I think now is the time they're going to make the Champions League places, because they've just added Daka, they've still got Vardy, they've still got Ndidi, they've still got Maddison, they've still got Schmeichel, and they've got Vestergaard now, who is another solid option for centre-back if they lose Fofana, which they have done now. And I think he will be a big loss. Whether he's out for the season entirely, we'll see. But even if he comes back midway through the season, I don't think they'll fall off, because they've had too many times this season, in the past seasons, where they've fallen off at the last bit. I think now they're going to have learned, but time will tell. And I think 5th place, it's got to be Liverpool, unfortunately. Yes, they brought Van Dijk back, and they've got a new signing in Konate. I'm not quite sure who else they've signed, but Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott is apparently coming on leaps and bounds in pre-season. Is he going to hit the ground running? Who knows? Is Diogo Jota going to make a big impact? I think he will. However, just something in me saying that Liverpool aren't going to get higher than 5th, whether it's because the team's above them or because, it's just something there that's making me think, they're going to get 5th. Sorry, Liverpool fans. Now, for the remaining 6th place, that is a tricky one. I'm looking between Arsenal and Spurs. I'm going to put Arsenal. I feel like Arteta might have learnt a few things from last season, and they've just added Ben White, who is a solid addition as centre-back. Should have gone to the Euros ahead of Godfrey, but who am I to say? I think they'll get 6th. I think with a good run of form. They haven't lost Aubameyang, they haven't lost Lacazette. A couple of the young players coming through, Smith Rowe, he's been given the number 10 shirt. Obviously, they've got a lot of faith in him as well. So, I think, 6th for them. Now, this is going to be another one, but Spurs, and this is going to be very dependent on if they lose Harry Kane. And I think they will in this window. I think it's going to be now or never for Kane, and I think he's going to force out a move, because otherwise he's not going to get anywhere, and I think City's going to be the only option for him. So, I'm putting Spurs in top to mid-table. And I think the other place that's going to go for 7th is going to be West Ham United, because they've kept a lot of key players, and they've still got Declan Rice, they've still got Souček, they've still got Kufal, they've still got Antonio. It's a solid side, and it's David Moyes. He's got the experience. I think they'll get 7th. I think they'll take the place of Everton, who, if we go on to now, I think are going to get 9th. As much as it pains me to say, I'd love to be able to say we're going to go top 6, but we're not. Look at the squad we've got. Look at the manager we've got in Benitez. All right, he could be a reasonable manager. He could work for us, but nah, I'm saying 9th. I want Everton to get Euro Conference. Do you know what? I'd love us to get some European football. It's just not going to happen. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen with us. And to complete the top 10, I'm going to go out on a bit of a whim here. I'm going to say Leeds. They've still got Rafinha, they've still got Bamford, and I think if we go to their signings, they've brought back Jack Harrison. They've got Junior Firpo from Barcelona. Not the biggest player they could have got, realistically, but they haven't lost a lot of key players, if any. Maybe just one is Alioski, but Leeds, I don't think they're going to suffer that much from second season syndrome, so I reckon 10th for them will work. And then we come to the rest of the table. Villa, they've lost Jack Grealish, but I think they'll make 11th. With the 4 signings they've got in Buendia, Ings, and Leon Bailey, and also Twanzebe, I think we're forgetting about as well, who could be a solid addition, only on loan. But the 3 players they've got basically to replace Jack Grealish, it will take time for them to gel. However, I do think they'll make Villa a good side, and there'll be a danger. So whether they'll go a bit higher, maybe it will be a case of they go into the top 10 and replace Leeds. But I think from experience, from knowing when you buy a lot of players to replace one, doesn't always work out. But yeah, Villa to get 11th. And then Brighton, I'm going to go to next. Brighton, I think, are just going to escape relegation because they haven't really brought in any big players, in my opinion, anyway. Like they've got Gary Dicker, Mwepu, Sherpin, Mitoma, and Sarmiento. So they've not lost Basuma, but they have lost Ben White, who's a big addition at the back. I think they'll just escape relegation because I think a lot of people will know their game plan, basically. Palace is a bit of a weird one. They've got no Eze for quite a while, but they've got Zaha. So I'm going to put them as 12th. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a... I'm going to put my head out there and say Vieira is going to make them more solid. More solid than Roy Hodgson. Doesn't sound real, but yeah, I think Vieira could do something with Palace. So I'm going to put them as 12th. Then we come to the final four. I think somehow Newcastle are going to just escape relegation. But if we look at the signings they brought in, sorry about this. Newcastle United. What the hell are they? There they are. Not a lot of big players there, but then not a lot of signings made. So I think realistically, 16th. 16th for them. Just makes sense. Wolverhampton Wanderers. I am going to say 14th. I'm going to say Burnley 13th. Another mid-table finish for Burnley. But again, it all depends on who you bring in the transfer window. And I think Dyche is a good manager. And I'm very surprised he's still there after all this time. But not really much else. I think if McNeil goes, though, I think if he leaves, that will be a lot of creativity gone. However, I still think they'd survive. They'd be fine. So 13th for them. Wolves sticking on 14th just because of the fact that they've lost the manager, Nuno, and I don't think they've lost any players yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they haven't lost anyone in particular. Rui Patricio, that could be an interesting one. But they have got obviously the new manager. I do apologise. I can't remember his name, but I think Wolves are just going to be another mid-table side this season. Or they might get relegated. We don't know how the new manager is going to blend in with the football. And finally, we come to Watford. And they brought in a few signings. Whether they're all going to start, who knows. Danny Rose is actually, I think he's a good addition and will work for Watford. I think he replaces, do you know what? I can't remember his name, and he scored against us when we did win 3-2, of course. But they've also brought in Josh King, who's a decent option, and I don't think got enough game time at Everton, but I think he's a decent option for what you need in terms of a striker, and they've also got Andre Gray. They've still got him, as far as I'm aware. I'm not just waffle. I am not. They've still got him. They've still got Troy Deeney, so some good options. So I think they could probably get 15th. And that is my table. Ed, are you doing videos for the Toffee Blues this year? We'll see. We'll find out. And yeah, that is my Premier League predictions. Any you disagree with? Any you agree with? Just shout them out. And I guess we'll leave it at that with the 2 viewers. Yeah, that is going to be my Premier League predictions. So, just to count it up. Norwich, 20th. Brentford, 19th. Southampton, 18th. Brighton, 17th. Newcastle, 16th. Watford 15th, Wolves 14th, Burnley 13th, Palace 12th, Aston Villa 11th, Leeds 10th, Everton at a very high push 9th, Spurs 8th, West Ham 7th, Arsenal 6th, Liverpool 5th, Leicester 4th, Man United 3rd, Chelsea 2nd, Manchester City as the champions. I think Norwich will surprise. There's every bit of possibility. I believe they've still got Daniel Farke as manager, but I think they're going to be another yo-yo club. I think they'll go straight back down again. But yeah, I guess that's really it. If there isn't much else to say, so thank you very much for all who. Let me get my words right. Thank you very much for all that have watched today, and yeah, see the season ahead.